Every day, poor communities throughout the Pacific have to make difficult decisions about their health care. If they delay medical treatment because of its cost, it could result in longer and more costly illnesses in the future. The cost of drugs and hospital visits quickly adds up, placing some households in almost constant debt. A sudden illness can be worse. A household could permanently lose even its most productive member. Protecting the poor against these health-related uncertainties is important in the fight against poverty. One way for rural communities to transfer the risk of healthcare costs is through microinsurance. To teach those in rural communities about the importance of insurance, the Microinsurance Academy in India developed a tool called the Treasure Pot game.
Thank you very much. Have you heard of insurance before?
No.
It was introduced into several villages in Fiji by Dr. Ido Dror from the Microinsurance Academy.
It was also very encouraging to see how many of them immediately understood the concept, immediately connected with the notion of self-help and community coming together.
A group of facilitators was first briefed by Dr. Dror on the way the game was played.
This morning, a group of facilitators met that had never heard of the Treasure Pot before, had never played it, and within half an hour they were up to speed with the game, and by noon today they were facilitating games as if they were born with this knowledge. Medicine. And if I have to purchase medicine, I have to pay 3 pieces of gold.
Treasure Pot transforms the complex ideas of insurance into a simple and effective game.
I have to go see the doctor after all. And doctor will cost us 4 pieces of gold. Expensive. But what can be more expensive than a visit to the doctor? A visit to the hospital. And if we have to go to the hospital, it will cost us 7 pieces. 7 pieces of gold. Our entire money for 2 years if we have to go to the hospital. Very expensive. So these are only the 4 options that we can get.
It was easy as a facilitator for me to get the points across to them and make them aware of microinsurance and the benefits.
You want to change the life. 3 pieces.
Playing Treasure Pot is fun and easy,
Thank you very much.
and at the same time it enables people to understand the concept of insurance. It does this by showing how pooling risks can offer better outcomes than out-of-pocket spending.
Healthy. Thank you.
This resonates well with Pacific Island communities.
Most of them, they have difficulties in paying hospital bills. Some of them are staying with their husbands who are very sick, and they don't have any other source of income.
After hearing the explanation of the rules of the Treasure Pot game, the participants are asked to sit or stand in a circle so that they can see each other. Folded cards with events are then mixed into a bowl. 7 lollies are then handed to each person.
1, 2, 3.
These lollies represent the money a person has for urgent costs,
Thank you very much.
like healthcare. Next, each person takes 1 card from the bowl. There are 4 different cards. Each card shows what healthcare costs you or your family will face during the game. If you are lucky,
Healthy. Very nice. Very nice.
you'll stay healthy and not have any health-related expenses. But over the course of a year, it's unlikely that you won't have any health-related expenses. The cost for any health care you require will be indicated on the card you pick. The worst-case scenario would be if you are hospitalized. For this, the cost is very high. Cards may also be picked for visiting the doctor or buying medicines. After picking a card, the bowl was then taken to each participant.
3 pieces, please.
After drawing their card, each participant announced what they had to pay to everyone else in the group. Those who only had to see a doctor or buy some medicine still had a few lollies left. Those who picked the hospitalization card, though,
7 pieces, please.
have no lollies left. They've spent all their money on health care. To teach the participants the usefulness of insurance, the game is played again. Everyone is given the same 7 lollies. This time, before the game begins, everyone gives 3 of their lollies to someone to put into a central bowl. This central bowl is now the Community Insurance Fund. This fund will take care of all the health costs for the community. 2 volunteers make the necessary payments from the central bowl. They represent the claims committee. Each participant then draws a card and reads out loud what their card says. The payment for these healthcare costs now comes from the central bowl and is paid by the claims committee. At the end of the round, all of the healthcare expenses have been paid. Another round of the games is then played until all the cards have been paid and all of the funds in the community insurance fund have been used. The game shows that the funds collected were enough to pay for everyone's health care costs. No one individually suffered from having a higher burden of health care expenses. The risk was shared. Everyone was still left with 1 lolly, unlike before, where some were left without anything. The participants learned that when everyone contributes up front to insurance, everyone is assured to get all the services they need, or at least all that they want to have covered through insurance. The more lollies each contributes, the more services each can access. The lesson was clear to everyone. By pooling their resources together and engaging in community-based insurance, the group as a whole was better off.
Yani kuwa nangiti kumila ka wakima marauta saranga valeu. Ungana marama pambimbi na group.
The health of the community was maintained through a community effort, while still leaving each member of the community with the money they needed for their own uses.
Madalta kibiki mami na kami baleta na insua kitu talita baleta na insua renta insua taking oira na tamata kada na tiwa na koro este.
Microinsurance utilizes the strength of the community to maintain both the physical health of the community as well as to help prevent any member of the community from finding themselves in poverty due to health care costs. For more information on microinsurance, contact the following: